I'm not even going to do anything that you have to do here, but I just want to demonstrate something. I'm going to copy this HTML here that has total charge, and it also has the input field, and I'm just going to copy it and paste it. And I'm just going to make a new one, and it's just to test something out here. I'm just going to call this new total, and then I'll change the name. I'll just put the word new in front of it, and I'll put new here. And then also this last part of the JavaScript, I'm going to copy that too, and I'll paste it. I'll paste it twice just to separate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say I'll declare the new variable called new total. And what I'll do is I'm just going to basically say take the total, and I'm just going to add a number to it. Let's see if it works. So I'm just going to do a total plus 1, and just to see if it works. So whatever we put in, it should add one number to whatever our total is automatically, because it's running through the function. Also down here, I want to make sure that it gets the ID, and then here that it also displays in there. So it also updates that value, and I also have to fixed on there so that it's using that again. So I just want to try this out. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to refresh, and I'll just put in a value. I'll put 10 because we know it's going to be 2. So I'll put in that 20% is going to be 2. So I'll calculate tip. It does $2. It adds it up to 12, and then it adds 1 to 13. So it's actually still working. I just wanted to make sure that it was still taking that string. And one thing I just want to point out here in the console, when you go back to the console in Chrome, if you go here and you put in meal.value, it still shows up as a string. It's still kind of the finished product is still showing as a string. And if you take any of these and just show them, they're going to show up as a string. However, if you do meal.value, and then you try to add the tip.value, which should come up to 12, it should. And let's see what it does here. It does 102. It's still doing the 10 plus the 2. It's still adding them together. So there's still an issue here where it's doing that. And let me just show you something. Let's try something else. Let's try meal.value, because we think we did that as a number, and I'm going to do minus and the tip.value. And I'll try that. And look at that. That comes out as a number. And how about this? How about if we do meal.value, and then we multiply it by tip.value. That comes out to 20. So it's actually doing, and these are numbers. The purple are numbers, the red are strings. So it's actually, it has an issue. JavaScript has an issue with the plus. And if you remember from some of the other things we've done, the plus is like a concatenator. So that's meant to add strings and put them together. Meanwhile, minus and multiplication, they always kind of default to math. But this one, it works with math, but it also works with concatenating. That's why sometimes it throws strings together. Whereas you use these operators, even if you divide it, even if you took, meal.value and you divide it by with a slash tip.value, because I'm using a math operator other than plus, it's doing math. So all these are doing math, but plus it seems to put strings together. So just one thing to be aware of when you're doing that sometimes you may have some, JavaScript will try and force numbers, even if they're strings, it'll force them together and have them act as numbers. But when you use plus, it treats them a little bit more like strings. So just something to be aware of, and try and just try things out in your console just to see things other than just errors. Okay, so we're going to try to do something else. We're going to see if we can put in our own custom value for a tip in here and then figure that out. So we'll do that next.